Welcome to the Midnight Release. We are the Michelin Star of the entertainment industry, and this has been 10 weeks in the making. We're finally here at the season finale of House of the Dragon. Season 1, The Black Queen, just came out last night. I think, yeah, last night. I'm working night shifts, so everything is thrown off in my life in terms of days and stuff, but working on fuels here, got no energy, but this episode this morning gave me the energy to do this. So yeah, pretty freaking good, man. What do you think?
I want your take first.
Honestly,
Your initial. Yeah.
So I feel like there was one big aspect of this episode that I don't understand the purpose of it, like why it was in it. But honestly, I feel like this episode is on par with every other episode in the show. It's just an A episode, but I was expecting more of a Game of Thrones-esque season ender that I did not receive. I feel like if you look back on Game of Thrones, the end of season 1 with Ned's death was just astonishing. Then you got like the Whore and Lannister's death. You got I used to go through these, so I don't know why I can't bring them up. But like so many seasons, I feel like every season of Game of Thrones, every season ender, it was always something humongous. This one, It just felt like this is what's going to happen. Everything happened up to this point, and I was expecting something big to happen, something decently sized to make more, to add more fuel to the fire, and we did get that. But there was no moment that was just shocking to me that I was expecting actually going into this episode. But saying that, this episode was great. It's still an A. It's just I was expecting an S from a Game of Thrones show, personally. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
Gotcha. My initial, I liked it. It's hard to say that any of these episodes are bad in general,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But this was probably my least disappointed episode. There was, like you said, there's a couple parts that I didn't care about. Like, why did they add that? Yes, it was emotional. Yes, it showed some more character of strength, I guess you can say. But I felt like it didn't need it.
Yep.
And this is solely going off of, if this was just a normal episode, it would be fine. This was basically, to me, it was kind of on par with the last episode of, that was the green side, Otto Hightower side, and this is the,
that's
the oh my gosh, Targaryen side of it.
Yeah.
So it was on par with me on those two aspects, but this being the season ending episode, I was very disappointed in that.
Okay.
I feel like so they had an episode of the Hightowers, that episode of the Targaryens. I feel like they need one more episode to end it where they're both in it, where it is the Game of Thrones kind of shocking factor at the end. Because now we're not going to have an episode for 2 years, roughly?
Wait, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So just me going off of season ending episode, it just lacked pretty heavily for me. Where we're going back to Ring of Power, it was the opposite. That was the episode that is going to keep me going back for the next episode. I mean, this isn't going to not make me watch the next season of Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon. I promise you that. But I was expecting more.
Yeah.
So I think this is honestly given. I don't think I've given any B's, honestly, this whole season.
Are you giving this a B?
House of the Dragon. I'm giving it a B plus is what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like, again, like you already said, it it reminds me of the episode Nippy in Better Call Saul that came out. Like, I absolutely hated that episode, and I got a lot of crap for it. And the only reason I hated it was because it was placed in like the last 5 episodes, and I did not like, and like it was just not needed for that placement.
Yeah.
Even though like the episode's not bad, but because of the placement, I hated it, and I feel like that's the way you feel, and I fully respect it. Yeah. I still liked it a lot. Like, it's not bad to me at all. It's just, I wish there was some more flair going on.
Yeah, no, there was just, and like we said, there's a couple parts for me that I didn't quite understand why they did it.
Yep.
Where in the last episode with the Hightower story side of it, I ate that whole episode up. You know, there wasn't really much in that episode that I thought was not needed. I thought it worked out well. Where this episode just seemed to not, I don't know. It was up and down for me. But like we said, it's hard to say that anything was bad in this series, this season, you know. This episode is not bad by any means.
Yeah.
It's just the placement of it in the season that just kind of threw me off a little bit.
Let's see. So the showrunners, they called this the point of no return. So it's funny because we've spanned like how many years? 10 plus years, right? Or is it?
Just no, it's
straight up a decade.
It's been more than that.
Oh, more than a decade. Okay. Well,
I think it's been more.
Okay, so we've reached a decade, and throughout that decade, I have continuously thought that we reached a point of no return. Or like every episode, I feel like it's a point of no return. But we finally have now, which is awesome. Which, you know, like what you said, going back to what you said with, you know, Rings of Power did better in getting you excited. I feel like the final sequence in this episode is what gets you excited. Like, before it, you can kind of see what's going on, but then the ending is like, okay. And not even that it's like some enormous situation.
And
it's
wasn't
just
super shocking.
It's just
it's
just an emotional thing. Like, okay, now we know some intent of the characters. Yeah. So I'm glad we're finally here to the point of no return where it's actually a battle happening whenever we get to see it. But which is what brings us to the next thing. When are we gonna freaking see it happen? Season 2. So the UK's BT reported that production on season 2 has begun, with filming expected to begin in the summer of 2023. It's terrible. Other sources have reported that filming may begin in the spring. Filming for season 1 began in April of 2021, and the season then aired almost 15 months later. While there's always the chance for a speedier season 2 production, we're not too optimistic. Expect a late summer or fall 2024 for season 2. Which sucks. So, late summer, so 2 years. Which really blows, man. I don't know how much I don't know how much you care about that.
That's nuts to me. That blows my mind, honestly. That it takes that long.
Oh yeah.
Because if I remember right, wasn't like Lord of the Rings, the first, second, third movie, didn't they record all that all at once, basically?
That's what I've heard, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's hard for me that they expect us to wait 2 years. Unless, is that typical? Is that normal? I don't know. That just seems like a long... time is flying. We're getting older. I get, but that seems like a very long time for... Because what about... So have you looked up the the Game of Thrones seasons? When did all those come out? Was it pretty regularly?
Dude, I have no idea.
Every couple years?
Yeah, I didn't watch it live or anything, so...
That's true.
Clue. I mean, the only thing I can think of to relate to this is Stranger Things. Stranger Things, we had a 2-year period between, I think, multiple of the seasons. And that always feels super long, having that 2-year. Like, just looking back on this last season to the one prior, it felt like
Uh-huh.
a huge gulf. Like
Yeah.
To me, it felt like 5 years. If you asked me, but maybe it was more than 2 years. But yeah, I don't like this. I mean, I don't know. I wish they were stuck on cable.
Here's a Game of Thrones here. So Game of Thrones. So first aired season 1, 2011, and then a year later, season 2 started. So April 17th of 2011, April 1st of 2012, season 2 aired. March 31st of 2013 is when season 3. So it's every year, basically.
Yeah.
Besides season 8, that was almost 2 years. After season 7.
Is House of the Dragon on like cable?
No, I don't think so.
It's only HBO.
That might.
I think
that
that's,
might be a
that's
big
the
part of it.
Difference, yeah. Yep, definitely.
But was this ever was Game of Thrones not always just an HBO thing?
I'm assuming it was on cable. Game of Thrones is old enough to where there's no way it was just on HBO. I would assume.
Production companies, Warner Brothers, HBO Entertainment. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it was always through HBO, but I don't think...
No, yeah.
Yeah. I think I would definitely guess it was on Dish and DirecTV is how you watched it.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, but... So...
But it looks like around April every year, a new season came out for Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So...
And yeah, it's got to be. I mean, if they had the ringer on them, they would pop it out in a year. They just don't have to.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, so laziness.
They're in complete control.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want. So I don't blame them.
Do you think it's laziness, or is it just them wanting to put out a phenomenal product? You know.
I think it's they don't want to.
That's just
they don't want
to.
They don't want to bar themselves to time. I feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. If you had to do it, would you want to stick yourself to a year and force yourself to?
No, I mean, you're still bringing in tons of money. I mean, you're right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Why
to
push
them.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the showrunner said, season 2 will come in Game of Thrones form now that the show is in shape. So he said basically like
that makes sense.
Yeah, they had to kind of go slow, get all the characters in place, set up the storyline, and now they're gonna kind of be more action packed. It's gonna be much more Game of Thrones esque, which without going into spoilers, we know now that in this next season, the web of people and characters is gonna expand. So. Which will, I feel like, bring that Game of Thrones vibe that we were missing in this show. Because I feel like that was the largest gap between this and Game of Thrones, was just the amount of people and the expanse of the show and how much it reached. So, I guarantee that'll be one of the biggest reasons. And with more characters comes more death, more excitement, and everything. So, that's me sick, but... With the time frame we have, I am not even going to think about it or try to get excited about it because it's literally an eternity away. So, well, so I'm excited to tell you this quote. So do you know who Courage is? He's a streamer.
Courage?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. He's not.
I mean, I know I've heard. Yeah. I know I've heard of him. But...
Okay. He's not like humongous, but he's not small. So it was a toss up for you to know. But you watched Game of Thrones live, right?
No. I mean, I did the last couple seasons.
Okay, that's all that matters. Yeah. So,
yeah.
He's a humongous Game of Thrones fan. And he is not watching House of the Dragon because of how poorly and how disappointed he was in the end of Game of Thrones. So, I'm going to first go and say what I'm going to say. So, as a person who watched the show, live streaming it and binging it within a 2-month period, I heard all the crap. All I heard before watching the show was the ending sucks. That's all I ever heard. I never heard any reasons or explanations for why it sucks. And when I binged it, I was fully expecting season 8 or 9. I can't remember. Is it 8 seasons?
8, yeah.
Yeah, 8. Going into the season 8, I was fully expecting the season to suck. And after watching it, I literally had no issues with that season. Like just being like a viewer, knowing no backstory or anything, just watching it and just consuming the content that was given through the video, through the film, I had literally no issues with it. And I was shocked that so many people had problems until I started learning why they had the problems. Because it wasn't necessarily the quality of what was being given, it was the potential that was missed. And so I have literally I do not share this feeling with every probably most Game of Thrones fans feel that way, but I do not share it as a later viewer. So I'm curious, your vibes. Did you have any, were you held back on House of the Dragon at all because of the last season's, your experience with the Game of Thrones?
No, I thought season 8 was great, honestly.
Okay.
The only issue I had with season 8 was how everything ended so quickly with White Walkers.
Oh.
Okay. That was seriously the only thing that made me mad. Was the very first scene of the whole series showed or brought up White Walkers, right? That's the very first thing you see in the whole series. Yeah, it ended in one episode, ended up being so quick. One stab and the whole army. It ended so quick. That's all I can say. I don't know how else to explain it. And that was my biggest disappointment. And it's not even the way it ended either. I'm fine with the way the Ice King or whatever, how he died and that whole build up. But it just was too quick. Okay. Too dang quick. And I'm good with how the kingdom ended, who ended up ruling. I'm totally cool with how Daenerys dies. Yeah. I really had no issues with it. Mm-hmm. My thing was it was way too quick.
Yeah. Well, that's what everyone says. It's just the missed potential is what people have a problem with, I feel like.
Yeah.
But when they talk about it, I mean, just potential in terms of why did they make the last seasons only 6 episodes or whatever, and why didn't they go to 12 seasons like George Martin wanted? And I personally feel like going 12 seasons is too long, personally. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't share that sentiment with those people. The only sentiment I do share is this last season, I think the average was like 10 episodes. The last season should have been 13 episodes. And you have a little bit longer, the White Walkers, you have more going there. And then you have a few episodes in between, the battle, the siege on King's Landing. Just have more stuff. I don't know why they had to limit themselves to 8 episodes or whatever, 6 episodes. I thought that was stupid. But I feel like if you went past 8 seasons, we've been waiting for Daenerys to make her siege and all that stuff. I just feel like it would have felt too dragged on and like too long, personally. But I was just curious if you had any fear going into House of Dragon, because I'm shocked after everything that's been said. I'm sure he sees stuff on, Courage. I'm sure he sees stuff on social media and stuff. I'm surprised he has not jumped in. I'm surprised any Game of Thrones fan has not jumped into House of the Dragon. But
yeah, that's surprising.
If they're not, maybe they're not as true a fan as they say. But
I don't know why. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, can you really? You can't take season 8 and put that as its pedestal of how Game of Thrones. How it's. That's not even close to what Game of Thrones is.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So how can you not? If you're a big fan, how can you not watch House of the Dragon? It feels.
Yeah.
It's Game of Thrones vibes the whole way. Yeah.
But so this was interesting. I can't believe people care about this. So people are complaining that House of the Dragons hires black actors just to throw them aside. Which I will say, they made this big thing about
Raymond.
inclusive, like just killing,
Yeah.
Valor or what's his name, Vaymond.
Oh.
They're complaining that they just hire black actors just to say they did it, and then they're just throwing them to the side. Which I mean, I will say, I think they are in a hard situation because I'm sure the book, George made it the way he made it, and so they made Corliss, his family, black to bring the inclusivity stuff in. So I think people are complaining that all they did was bring that one family in. But this whole show, I don't know. It's just I'm surprised people are complaining about that. Cuz I had never had that vibe at all going into the show.
No, not even close.
Like
That's the funny thing with that whole race thing is I don't think about it until someone points it out.
oh yeah, you just don't think about it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? There wasn't
I'm the
one
same way.
thought in my whole mind about, you know. But it is ridiculous that people have to bring it up or just make an issue out of it.
I mean, they did kill the wife, then they killed the brother, and then Corliss is
Game of
gone.
Thrones.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah. But this is just a little thing for you. I don't say anything about it, but House of the Dragon's prosthetic designer is making the monsters in the Last of Us TV show. I don't care about that show, but I'm sure you care about it.
That is gonna be that has me more hyped than a lot of things right now.
When does it come out?
It's gonna be so freaking good, and the little trailer they had of it, the sound that the clickers make, it's so on point. And if the prosthetics designer, that makes me happy. Which means they're gonna look phenomenal.
Good.
That Last of Us series is either gonna be one of the greatest video game driven or video game inspired TV series, or it's gonna be the greatest, or it's gonna be just fall to the wayside.
Yeah,
just on.
Which I have
good people for it.
Yeah, I have like no confidence in video game stuff, so I don't know.
I would have said that because I'm obsessed with Sonic, the movie Sonic. I freaking love those movies, and I thought they did phenomenal there. So before Sonic, I probably would agree with you, but man, they're putting so much money into this stuff.
Yeah,
it's hard to, because I liked Uncharted. Uncharted was going to be a big bust for me, or I thought it was going to be, and it wasn't the greatest thing ever, but it was very entertaining. And I mean, it got enough traction that they're putting on a second one. So
are they?
Yeah.
That's the one with Mark Wahlberg, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that was all right. Yeah.
And Tom Holland.
It wasn't.
No, it was fine.
It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but
yeah.
I've seen I mean, if you've watched the first Super Mario Brothers movie,
no, I have seen clips of it.
Oh my gosh, it's horrendous. But
yeah. Hey, Mario! This new Mario movie might change the landscape again. I hope. I hope it's freaking good.
But, oh, me too.
Yeah. One more year, right? It comes out early next year, or maybe middle. But
April.
Yep. So
I'm going to that for my birthday.
Oh. We'll have to do a review on it. So, the scores for the finale of Hot D. So, just to give some explanation, I'm going to go through IMDb and Rotten Tomato scores, and then we're going to give our score from S to F, and then we're going to give our season stars. If you haven't thought about it, I've thought about it, and we could talk about it. But, so IMDb gave this a 9.4. And with the amount of votes in now for it, it's looking like it's going to drop maybe just a couple points, which will keep it at the second highest episode of the show.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm sure, from what you said, I'm sure you don't like that at all.
No, it's fine. I get it. It's good.
Yeah.
I just, for it being the freaking season-ending episode, man, season finale.
Yeah. I get it.
It hurt me.
And then Rotten Tomatoes again, they're always behind the ball. I thought on the finale that they'd have more votes in. They only have 9 votes in, but it is sitting at a fat 100%. It's juiced up right now, so cool. I'm sure it'll drop though. But oh yeah, we already said our scores actually, which is I gave it an A, you gave it a B plus, so that's an A- for our score. And then season stars. Okay, I want to know what you're thinking.
So a season stars for this series, for this episode, or this season?
Yeah.
This one was tough. I don't think I'm giving it stars. This one was tough, though.
Yeah. You can expound?
It's
okay.
It's so... I don't know how to explain it. I mean, it was just... It's the first season. There wasn't anything crazy. Nothing so eye-opening, shocking, right? It was just good. It was good acting, the good writing to set everything up. I just believe that now they're done, because this was kind of its own little Game of Thrones season where I feel like now we're gonna get into the shockingness of it, the hatred, the backstabbing, where we feed off of for this kind of series, this kind of content, and I think that's my main reasoning. It was a good setup. It's good setup to give multiple stars here in the next couple of seasons if they can knock it out of the park.
So, I agree actually with you. I think now that we've got a full season underway, looking back to season 1 of Game of Thrones, that season is so phenomenal. It starts off so good. It's constantly amazing, throwing you off. Like, there's nothing in this season that's as good as even seeing Jaime and Cersei banging in the tower, and then they push Bran out, you know, and then Ned's death. Yeah. Like, that show, that even the first season of that, they were inspiring. They were jaw dropping. It was crazy. It was like, oh my gosh, like the feeling at the end of the season when, like, you know that Baratheons are going to start attacking. Daenerys is going to attack Starks. Like, even though it doesn't happen for seasons ahead, but like in that moment, you're just like, oh my freaking gosh. This season, like we've always said, it's just an A-. It's very good. It's not great. It's not transcendent. It's just good. And it's just a constant conniving, like learning emotions and like seeing how they react to things. In Game of Thrones, it was like literal death. This show has just been, like just mental games. So nothing was too crazy. It was just interesting, and it really was a setup season, which I'm shocked that they went a full season of setup. Like, that's really what it was. But through that setup, they were still good. They were still able to make it really good, which is impressive, honestly.
Oh, it was super impressive, especially with how much time they spanned it. Yeah. How many different actors they brought in for different age group. You know, it was phenomenal. Yeah. There wasn't one time where I was like, well, that doesn't work. Everything worked in my eyes. Yeah. With the actors that they brought in to portray the older versions, you know. Because I'm assuming now going forward, we're not really going to have much of that, right? We're going to have Alicent and Rhaenyra. They're stuck into this position, right? The main characters. Oh yeah. I mean, I could see their kids getting different actors and stuff, but I don't think we're gonna have huge time jumps. Going forward, correct? Yeah.
This must all take. Is it all gonna take place in like a year, 2 years, year and a half?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, but yeah. I mean, the whole show is gonna change. Like the showrunner said, I think the last 3 seasons are going to be very different than this one. Yeah. Which is awesome. But yeah, I agree, man. No stars. However, for what they did good. So No, no hate here. It's just it wasn't.
Nope.
It just doesn't have that feeling of a starred show to me. Like it's just it was kind of easy for me to say that, to be honest. But
Yeah.
So let's get into the spoilers. So.
Boom.
Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! So, starting sequence. This entire intro and starting sequence, I do not understand why they spent the time to do it.
With what?
The death of the baby. I don't get it.
Oh, okay, yep. That's my 100% reason why this was a little lower for me.
Yeah. Like,
did it just show her the pain she was going through and then the strength she has?
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. I feel like, so my first initial, so we got the news of Aegon ruling. And through the learning of that is what caused the death of the baby. Obviously, as soon as she heard it, she felt her stomach, and then she kept having pains. Then she was bleeding. So my initial reaction was, will Rhaenyra hold this on Alicent or something? Just like, what's the point of it?
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that I could see is like, this is actually something that spurns her in a bad direction towards the fight. Like, she'll hold that against
her a little bit.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of, man.
I could see that, but then as you watch this episode, I didn't get any of that vibes.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
She seemed always super chill and, well kept.
Yeah.
Playing it cool like a chess match, not just going hot-headed like Daemon. So I don't know. I really don't know what this whole baby thing was about.
Yeah, I just, and it's just something I don't care about. Like, she already has so many kids,
Yeah.
We've already, how many times, I swear, this is like the third time we've had a baby death scene. So I was just kind of over it. Because we had the first episode one. That one was well done, amazing. Then we had Damon's wife, Lena. That one was good. Then this one was just, I don't need it. Sorry. And it's probably the worst. Yeah, like you said, probably the worst part of the episode. Easily.
Yeah.
But like, seeing Daemon strategizing and planning during the split scenes when they were showing the baby then going to Daemon, we see how much Daemon wants this. Like, it made me feel like if I was Rhaenyra, I'd feel safe with him because he is gonna make sure it gets done, basically. But while saying that, the question has arisen for me. I'm gonna go straight down to Daemon right now. So the question has arisen: what is up with Daemon?
I don't know, dude. I was gonna ask you the same question.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I remember I watched something where the producer or the writer of the show basically said, "I don't know why everyone loves Daemon." Did you see that?
No. But
No, he's genuinely like confused. Like, this makes no sense. This character should not be a likable, lovable character,
Yeah.
And for the past 5 episodes, I think I've only grown to like him more and more and more.
Yeah.
Initially, I liked him, but I knew there was some evilness about him. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And then after everything was kind of moving forward, and I grown to love the dude. This episode made me go straight back to hating him.
I don't know.
And I just don't understand. Is there more to... Or does he truly believe that they killed Viserys? Is this his whole drive?
It seems like it.
Is that they think they killed Viserys, they slaughtered him in his sleep,
Yeah.
and that's why he's going nuts like this?
Yep.
Or is it something bigger where he... Do you think what he's doing has anything to do with the fact that she is the rightful heir and the queen? Or do you think all of this is driven...
I think it's driven by her too, and the king.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The way he bows to Rhaenyra when she puts the crown on. Yeah, he cares. The thing is,
so every time I see him do something like that, there's always something that I see in his look that it's resistant. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Like he's not fully committed. He's doing it to appease her. He's there to appease the people. I don't know.
It's
And this happened a lot during this episode. Well, not a lot, but just even through Corlys and Rhaenys.
Oh.
I'm still very, very confused on them, on what's going to happen in the next couple seasons.
Yeah.
On where their loyalty truly lies. I'm not, because the only thing that would make me so driven, or make me think that Daemon is so driven, is because he thinks Viserys was murdered. I think that's what fueled it initially, but then after the conversation he has with Rhaenyra, I don't know, dude.
It's like, okay, so while he's doing the war plans, she's screaming his name. He doesn't go to her, and then he chokes her out. Chokes her, not out, but he chokes her.
Yeah.
They didn't give us the answer. We don't know if it's because of his, he's so on edge because of the situation, and that's why he's acting this way, or if this is the way Daemon acts, and he is a douchebag. I don't know which one it is. I feel like through Rhaenyra's reaction to the choking, that maybe this is not normal, and he is a good husband.
Yeah, seems surprising, right?
Yeah. So I feel like I don't want to take too much of his actions and have it change my mind on him because I just feel like he's very on edge and like just wants to fight. I feel like he's so loyal to the Targaryen name and the dynasty that he doesn't want. Yeah, he's like, he knows they're on the brink of losing it and having the green dragon be the new logo. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like he's acting rashly. Because like the last,
100%.
The last two episodes, even the beginning of this one, as soon as Princess Rhaenys gives the information, I loved his face staring. Like, I just like Daemon, and I don't want this to change my mind on him just yet. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like he's just a box. He's a box of cards, and it's just gonna be annoying throughout. But I like seeing him care about Rhaenyra and like. But you're right. In that moment, it probably was the king. So, but yeah, he's very like he's gonna get this done, which is awesome to see, as I expected, anyways. So, as we already said, she's then made the queen. So then we got the council. And I just want to quickly go over some things we can learn in terms of the story and the lore of the world. But, so Riverrun, Baratheons, and Starks are all allies, and the Lannisters are enemies. So this is kind of showing you what side we should support based off Game of Thrones.
That hasn't really changed, right? Even in Game of Thrones, isn't that kind of where the line was drawn against the Lannisters?
No. Wait,
right?
In terms of against who?
Well, just being allies, right? The Starks, Baratheons, Riverruns, weren't they basically allies in Game of Thrones?
No, yeah, but I'm talking about they're allies to the Targaryens right now.
No, I know that, but I'm saying it seems like things really haven't changed from House of the Dragon to Game of Thrones as in alliances, right?
No.
And then Lannisters kind of being their own.
Yeah. But I guess... Oh, never mind. But anyways, it's just funny because, those three families are like the three good families. And then the Lannisters are the evil family. So I was like... They're basically just showing you which side you should support here.
I got you.
And then... So this part is interesting. So... The Targaryens have 13 dragons, and the Green Party has 4 dragons.
Yep.
Um, so in episodes prior, they made it seem like there's no dragons that are riderless, really, right?
Yeah, it seemed like
It
it.
kind of seemed like that. But now there's freaking 6 of them.
Yeah.
There's 6 dragons with all cool names. I saw it on an article and I should have saved it, but I didn't. So, but yeah, I mean, that changes the entire landscape. There's freaking what 6 to 8 just free dragons roaming, ready to be taken.
Yeah.
That seems pretty dangerous. It's like just having a nuke
Oh yeah.
ready for someone to take and use. I feel like that's gonna be a humongous storyline in the next coming seasons of the Lannisters and the Hightowers fighting over the dragons. If they're, because at this rate, even with Vagar, I guess it's 12-4 dragons. Even with Vagar, I just feel like some shift has got to change here, because it won't be a fair fight when that time comes. And then we also saw Rhaenyra. She kind of rules like Viserys, which is nice to see.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's
Oh
the
yeah.
case.
Way more level-headed, more peace-driven.
Uh,
Doesn't want to see bloodshed. Yeah, because one line that she said, right? She basically said, "Yeah, we can go to war, but why would I want to rule blood and ashes?"
yeah. I don't think Daenerys ever says that, does she?
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought she did say that,
Oh,
right?
she did?
Initially, but then she kind of went nuts in season 8, and then she didn't care.
She said, "I don't want to rule over."
Switch.
I feel like Tyrion said that.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Okay.
Like, yeah, she's like, we're just gonna go in there. I'm pretty sure it's like
I
when they lose their ships to the Lannisters,
Yeah.
and then she's like,
okay.
"I'm gonna take my dragons in there. We're gonna take over it right now." And then Tyrion's like, "You don't want to do that. Do you want to rule over ashes?" But yeah. So the other thing from that moment is, which we can now go to the Valerians for this, but Rhaenys does not bow to Rhaenyra when she puts the crown on.
Initially, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like Rhaenys is gonna do something. She's gonna betray him.
Well, so
There's just too much.
This is the one.
I don't know.
So the whole Corlys Rhaenys thing is another things I have questions about. Right? So when she didn't bow initially, and you can play it off as she doesn't know which way she's going to support because Corlys isn't there yet, right?
Oh, yeah.
I kind of did that. Initially I was like, okay, Corlys isn't there. He's the king of Driftmark. I get that. I get why she's not given full support completely yet. And then even when Rhaenyra brought up that they have her dragon, she gives this look of, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, that's my dragon, but you don't really have my dragon yet. Do you recall seeing that little look?
Okay, yeah.
She
gave a ton of looks.
Oh yeah, no, during this whole
That's
thing.
what I'm saying, yeah.
And then the looks basically stopped once Corlys came into the picture, correct?
Yes. So that's, yeah. Okay.
Once they kind of, so, and that's why I'm like, okay, maybe she just wasn't sure what she was doing yet because Corlys. But they brought up the fact that them killing and plotting their son, I don't know how easy that's going to be forgotten.
There's no way they'll forgive him.
But then the whole thing with Corlys being baller and saying, you got my back, this is treason, the Greens should be not a part of this, you have my ships, we'll cut off King's Landing to trade routes. Like, okay, he then confirmed my doubts on, okay, he's chosen a side. But I have a feeling that they're going to be a pretty big oh my gosh, switch later on in the next episode, the next seasons.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if they're fully, but they are Targaryens though, so I don't
It's
I don't know,
hard.
dude.
Because also,
This one was hard for
at the
me.
very end of the episode, not the very end,
Uh,
Rhaenyra does something at the table, and Rhaenys gives a smile and like a nod of approval.
yeah,
It's just so back and forth. It's annoying.
it is. And she did give Rhaenyra awesome props on. She's like, yep, she keeps a level head. She's the only one with the brain down there. She's keeping her cool, and I think she respected that fully. Because everyone down there's discussing how to kill and how to plot and murder as many people, put them in the ground. Because whoever has the most people in the ground is gonna be the loser.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know yet.
Mm. We also learned that Rhaenys is part Baratheon.
Yeah, cool. That was cool.
Maybe
like
Robert's descendant. Wait, he might be. I swear we hear something about him being a line of Targaryen. Like he has some Targaryen blood in him. Do you remember hearing that? I think so.
I don't know, dude. It's been so long.
Yeah, I'm like pretty positive about that. After that, we have the bridge, which is just like episode 2.
Yep.
But now in reverse. It's like the exact same, dude. Otto and him, knights behind each. Dragon comes in behind. But yeah, this time it's backwards with Rhaenyra. So, literally, Otto is trying every freaking tactic he can to have Rhaenyra bend the knee. He tells her this is the situation, and then when she stops him, he literally gives 5 reasons of he was put in front of everyone. He had the priest do it. Everyone wants him. These lords have already agreed to it. So then after she doesn't agree, he gives 5 reasons. It's already done. You're screwed. And then again, he can tell she's not changed by it. And then he gives that page, which I'm not sure what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the book that they read in the tree? Or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And she ripped it out, remember? She ripped out a page.
Okay, yeah.
And Alicent was like, no, don't do that. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was pretty certain. So, through all of his tactics, they didn't work, but that one worked. Pretty obviously. And I wish it didn't work.
Calm everything down.
Yeah. I wonder if she would have let Daemon kill him.
Oh, yeah.
Without that. Because she seemed pretty mad, as she should have been at him.
Why wouldn't you just kill everyone on that bridge real quick?
With the dragon, freaking dragon.
I know. It would have been so easy.
Yeah. It just made me keep thinking back to episode 2 and how at that moment I was on Otto's side. And it sucks that I was. But it's cool how things switch. The arcs of this story. George does so good at that. But that's pretty much it for that, right?
Yeah,
I don't think I
it
missed
wasn't
anything.
much.
Yeah. So, we already talked about the Valerians. Talked about Daemon. And then we got Vermithor. So, I did some research. Vermithor is the dragon.
Okay.
So
Daemon's going after, right?
Yeah, Daemon's going after one of the dragons that's in hiding. Or just, riderless.
It looks pretty freaking big.
Yeah, it looks just like Vhagar, but a little more menacing with its teeth and stuff.
Mm.
So Vermithor is the second largest dragon. It's just smaller than Vhagar. It is riderless, and the last rider of it was King Jaehaerys. So, Queen Rhaenys' father. And then, in this article, the person read the book and said, I won't spoil anything, but this dragon plays a major role throughout the show.
Oh, okay.
Which is cool. Just like Vhagar. I'm sure it's going to be this, my assumption is it's going to be like the alter ego to Vhagar. They have that big one.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to have Vermithor. It's going to be kind of like a battle between the two big dragons or something like that. Which is pretty cool. That's about all I found on that. So, that'll play some role. We could question who the new rider's going to be for that one. And who doesn't have a dragon that needs one. trying to think. Because you can't.
I think they all on.
Can you dual wield dragons?
I don't know.
I mean, Daenerys has 3, so why not?
I mean, out of their kids and stuff, is Joffrey's the only one we know for sure that is young enough to not have one, right? Or does he?
I mean, he was probably given a dragon egg.
Corlys, yeah. Because Corlys's grandkids have them, right? And then they got one. Yeah, no, they should.
Okay. So maybe someone will dual wield it, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Which would be sick. I'm curious if... I mean, Daemon's got to make that bond with it. They said, we're not going to give you the spoiler of who the new writer is, but if Daemon's going down there and he has to tame it, then I'm pretty sure it becomes his.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it's going to be his, but I could be wrong. So, I guess we only have 2 other things. The Targaryen game plan. I just want to mention, you already mentioned some of them, but I just want to mention them because I feel like they're giving us kind of the route of the show. So they're going to control the Narrow Sea and the Stepstones to kind of, I'm assuming, block off items coming into the red. Yeah, they said.
Yeah, trade routes, right?
Yeah, trade routes.
Supplies, all that junk.
And then with their men, they're going to surround the Red Keep. And to do that, they're going to need the support of the Eyrie, which is the Moon Door place, Winterfell, and Storm's End, which Winterfell is obviously Stark, Storm's End is Baratheons. And then she sends her children as messengers. So that's the game plan. I was thinking the children scene would take place next season, but I was wrong because I looked at the timestamps and I was like, oh, wait, we still got 25 minutes. Okay, let's do this. And that's when the final sequence occurs where we have Storm's End, the dragon chase, and then the reaction. So, yeah, what was your reaction to this whole sequence?
I don't know why. Oh my gosh, what's the kid's name? Not Jace, the other one. Wow, I'm totally spacing.
Jacaerys and
oh my gosh.
I thought it was Jacaerys.
I feel so stupid.
I thought it was Jacaerys.
Anyway, all I know is if I ended up landing at Storm's End, my little dragon just chilling there, right? And all of a sudden you see Aemon's dragon pop up.
Yeah.
How are you not running so fast? Obviously, Aemon's there. Obviously, has trying to get their house on their side.
Yep. What
are you gonna do? Like, seriously, deliver the message and feel like everything's gonna be okay? It's Aemon. They hate each other.
I will say
it's his dragon.
The shot of Vhagar in the darkness behind that was so good.
So sick, dude.
I will say this is
massive.
Massive, yeah.
I don't think we realize how big that dude is. That dragon looked like it was bigger than that whole Storm's castle.
That thing was
like
huge.
It was ridiculous.
Freaking awesome.
Gosh.
What was I gonna say? So this is one of the moments where, it just is not on par with Game of Thrones because when I look back to my moments, like the season enders and everything, there were always complete blindsides every time. This one, as soon as he landed and he saw Vhagar, I knew he was gonna die. I knew it.
Oh yeah.
I was 100% guaranteed he was gonna die. Okay, Game of Thrones. I did not think Ned was gonna die. I did not think, obviously, the Red Wedding would occur. I did not think when Tyrion got out of the jail he would kill his father and the slut. Like, just complete blindsides. I did not think Tommen would kill himself after Cersei blows the place up. I knew she would blow it up, as they were alluding it the whole time. But then Tommen killing himself. Like, everything is always such a blindside. Jon Snow dying. That's, you don't expect it at all. Every single time, it's a complete blindside. This one, as soon as the sequence occurred, I said, he is gonna freaking die. And it happened, and I expected it. I mean,
Yeah.
the way they did it was really good. I have no problems with the execution. It's just,
No.
I wish it was surprising.
Brutal.
Yeah.
God.
Dude.
Takes
I went back and watched it because it looked so cool. Just
Yeah.
that dragon stood no chance. Dude, Vagar's humongous. Just
No.
one little bite. So I feel like that's one big thing. Is I mean, outside just the normal plot here to talk about is it's cool that we saw it a few times with Daenerys in the beginning of the dragons, but just the fact that these people don't really have control over the dragon.
No,
You know?
not at all.
Because he didn't purposely shoot the flame at the dragon, right?
No.
Yeah.
Not with what he said, right?
Yeah. Listen to me. So I was assuming that meant
Yeah.
he's not trying to attack him at all. But maybe the dragon felt threatened, so he went and that just pissed Vagar off, so he went and ate him.
Chopped him in half.
It was so good though. I mean, it was good.
Even Aemond was very surprised.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I did appreciate was the last look that Aemond had.
Yeah.
Was oh shit.
Yeah, like he wasn't.
What?
Yeah, he wasn't just
He
like
just
some
was
maniacal.
with him.
Yeah,
No. He
like he wasn't like smirking like some evil. Like he's trying to
Yeah.
be evil, but it was like a real
Yep.
situation. Like he grew up with him,
it was like
even though he hates
Yep.
him. He just killed
Yeah.
him, and he knows that's bad for the situation they're in and everything. So
oh, it's terrible for the situation. Because the way it ends, right? Damon goes to Rhaenyra and tells her, and she turns around, and that's when I think everything's now changed in her eyes.
yeah, you killed my son.
She is going to be the queen of death.
The Black Queen is what the episode's called.
Yep.
Wait, yeah, the Black Queen. So which brings me to my other thing. This show shouldn't be called House of the Dragon. This show should be called Misunderstandings. Okay, Damon's misunderstood about Viserys' death. Alicent's misunderstood with the Song of Ice and Fire. They're misunderstood about Aemond killing him. I mean, he did, but if they knew the situation, they'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that sucks." I mean, Vagar killed them. That sucks, But everything's just misunderstandings. The whole freaking thing. It's hilarious.
Yeah. The misunderstanding, a Targaryen story. I mean, it truly is, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's like the only person who's not misunderstanding is literally Otto, the maniacal puppet master of the whole freaking thing. But yeah, and there wasn't a... No, never mind. I'm stupid. I was asking if there's a teaser, but there's not going to be a freaking teaser for season 2.
Nope.
But yeah, man. That was a good ride. A good 10 weeks, man.
Overall, though, the season was pretty dang good, man.
Yep.
Not much to complain about.
Nope. So, after... We talked about this like around episode 3. And I feel like I expected it to be a little different than it is. But do you like Rings of Power season 1 or House of Dragon season 1 better?
House of Dragon. Hands down.
Okay.
No. It's Rings of the Power, the stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. The lore and the stuff of Rings of Power
Yeah.
kills House of the Dragon for me. I love the lore and everything that's coming up from Rings of Power.
Well, here's the thing.
Every time they say,
Not a critical. I don't care about your which one's better critically. I'm talking about like you. Which one did you enjoy more?
House of the Dragon.
Oh,
yeah,
you did.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure
As
because
I mean, as a whole series. I mean, as a season, yeah.
Okay.
House of the Dragon was way more enjoyable.
Okay. Cool. I mean, I wouldn't have thought you were stupid either way. I wouldn't have been like surprised that you said Rings of Power, because I mean, at the end of this season was very set-up-y, and I thought you might
Yeah.
lean towards Rings of Power.
No, it was good. No, the writing was phenomenal. The actors were. There's not one thing bad you could talk. Freaking Viserys was seriously probably an S tier character in this dang season.
Yeah.
I loved him so much.
It really
He made
sucks
the
he's
dang
gone.
series for me, or the season. But don't get me wrong. I think the last episode of House of the Dragon probably is my favorite episode out of everything we've watched so far. Or not House of the Dragon, Ring of Power.
Yeah.
That last episode of Ring of Power was everything I've wanted, and I got a taste of it. So, but overall, no, House of the Dragon was almost twice as more enjoyable.
Okay.
As a whole.
Yeah.
I
mean, I was just more excited for every episode, so that just tells me which one I liked more. I was fully excited.
The Rings of Power, I was excited, like House of the Dragon, but I always got disappointed.
Okay.
So it pissed me off. Where House of the Dragon, it wasn't. I was never ever pissed at this.
Yeah, you're just stuck on. You had your hopium, just living on.
Oh
hope.
yeah, there's a lot more hope in the greatness of Rings of Power, and it failed.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Rings of Power, every episode, it was hope. You're hoping for it.
Yep,
House of the Dragon, you knew the quality that was going to come, so you didn't really think about it. But yeah, so that's it. 0 stars. Doesn't mean it's bad at all.
See you in 2 years.
Yeah, see you in 2 years, House of Dragon. A- for this one. Honestly, overall, I'm pretty sure if you averaged out all our scores, it'd be probably an A. Just a solid A from S to F.
A.
Great stuff. I mean, looking at IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, they gave it about an 85, which is, if you compare it to numbers to letters, it's pretty close. So, Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, you're not too off. Well done. You're actually not stupid this time. But, that's it. And, I mean, looking to the future, I don't know what shows there's going to come out that we can do or movies, but I'm sure something will happen.
I don't know. Is there anything big coming out? I just wish they didn't do these two dang things all at once.
Yeah, could have had them two separate. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. I swear there's something coming out this month. The end of this month. A movie.
A movie?
Maybe not. I feel like I'm excited. Oh, I know what it is. I'm excited about Amsterdam.
Oh, I did see.
I want to watch this. Dude, Robert De Niro, Christian Bale, Margaret Robbie, Michael Myers. So good. I mean, I can see this movie being. This seems like a movie that's like, stellar cast, and it's just like all right. Yeah. Oh, the reviews are out.
Oh, it is
6.2 on IMDb and 33% Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, yikes!
Really?
Oh, is it already out? I thought it was later. September 18th. Wait, what?
No, that can't be.
Dude. Wait, what? I thought it came out like October 6th, maybe? That'd make more sense. No. I'm that off on this movie? Maybe the last 3 weeks have just flown by because of work that I just forgot about it.
Yeah, maybe.
Dang it. Well, something
Did it really come out?
Maybe. I literally can't find a date. Release date. October 7th. Wow, it's already out.
Wow.
I would have.
Well, that means this. Okay, that means this friggin' movie sucks then, because I haven't heard one thing about it.
Nope, nothing.
Because I was very much intrigued with it too, with that cast.
Dude, Metacritic even gave it a 48%. That's really bad.
Really? Well, that was depressing.
Wow. Well, see ya in 2 years. Just kidding. Dude, you know what we should do? Once a week, we watch an episode of Prison Break.
I need to watch it.
I want to watch it with Stacy. Because Stacy...
Oh, do you?
She's watched
she hasn't seen it?
But she hasn't really watched it enough. And I'm so down to watch the first 2 seasons. Or 3.
Let's do it. Seriously. I'll be down with that.
It's so good. But
I don't know anything about it at all.
Dude, you're gonna be so excited for you. That first season's
I wanna do all the Austin Powers movies.
I just watched them like 2 weeks ago, so
They're so stupid.
So
the more you watch them, the more you're so stupid.
Yeah. Wow.
Other than that,
Dude, I don't know. Usually I have things on the horizon for things. I guess right now it's just been Modern Warfare 2 in my life. And then Starfield will come out early next year. Movies, shows. Yeah, it's like Rings of Power is always on my horizon. House of Dragon became on my horizon. And now nothing.
Yep.
But yeah, thanks for watching and listening. Please like and subscribe. Yep. Please comment what you thought about the show and the episode, and if you liked our no stars and our A score for the show. Please have a good day and bless you.
Yep, peace.